All right, welcome back. So next group is CollegeTB. You can start.
Hello judges, I'm Louis Rochette and I'm in charge of IT and graphic design.
I'm Connor Gani, I'm the Chief Operating Officer.
My name is Alexis Gilchrist. I'm in charge of marketing and research and development.
My name is Alex Saboni. I'm the founder and CEO of CollegeTB, and today we're going to present to you CollegeTB. So how did CollegeTB come to be? So over the course of last semester, I was pricing out textbooks, and then this semester started. And I went to the bookstore to buy a textbook. When I got to the register, I was astonished to find out it was $200 used in very poor condition. I thought to myself, there's no way there isn't another student on this campus with this textbook in their closet collecting dust, that they would definitely sell me for a good price. So when this gave me the thought, CollegeTB, Craigslist of textbooks. And what we're essentially doing here is we're eliminating the margins, taking out the middleman, and allowing students to buy and sell textbooks for a far more reasonable price.
So over the past decade, textbook prices have increased by 82%. This is clearly a big problem for students. The USPIRG Education Fund conducted a survey in which they reported that 65% of student consumers tend to opt out of textbooks because of their high prices. 94% of that 65% say that they suffer academically in a negative way because of such. We have created a solution to this problem, and because of that, we will be a flourishing business. Here's an example. Here at UNH, a common course load consists of 4 courses. Say a student was enrolled in biology, kinesiology, business law, and nursing. If they wanted to buy these textbooks from a place such as Amazon, the price would come out to $370, and those textbooks are used in poor condition. If they were, however, to resort to CollegeTB here at the UNH campus, the textbook total would be $170, saving students half the price. We wanted to reach out to students and ask them what they thought of this idea. So we conducted a survey of 100 students. 98% of those students answered that they feel textbooks are overpriced. 66% of the students most often buy used textbooks. The most important thing that came out of this survey was that 96% of students who answered the survey say that they would love to use a website geared towards providing a medium for students to exchange used books to one another across a college campus.
So how does CollegeTB intend to make a profit off of this business model, this opportunity that we have here? So we wanted to allow the buyers of books to browse the website completely free of charge. What this is doing in turn is supplying demand for the books that the sellers on our website are attempting to sell. So our business model results in a bundle package. So for $7.50 you get 5 ads, and these 5 ads for 4 semesters, essentially, 4 months, essentially 1 semester. So we have 2 revenue periods in a single year. Additionally, we can receive revenue from referrals. So if a customer type in, I want a business law book, and that business law book isn't on our website, we will refer them to another online retailer, and we actually receive a percentage fee of that sale. And this also, we could also see, ad revenue on the sides of our website if we did get to that point.
This is a picture of our beta site, which is operational and fully functional at collegetb.com right now. And when we were designing this site, we went for as simple as an approach as possible. We have, as soon as you come on the site, you see all the books that we have right there, and sort of like the 21st century bulletin board. If you can't see your book there, you can use our search function, which we cross-reference between your class, your college, and ISBN number. And the simplistic part isn't just the search feature either. We also are simple in the fact that we can recreate this website and expand it to other campuses just by changing the URL and then some of the pictures on it in the background to make it more of a university pride sort of thing, where they're going to be more likely to use it because it's for their university, but it still links to collegetb.com. Another thing that we differentiate ourselves with is we're willing to take on other students' websites and incorporate their features into our site. We found someone on this campus that had a website called Textbook Mill, and what we did is we took his website, implemented it into a widget, and added it into our buy and sell features. So when you type in your ISBN number for the book that you want to sell, it pops up with the top 20 competitors' sites with their price, so you can base your price off that, and it also shows the deal you're getting when you're buying the book.
So many of you are wondering probably why college students use CollegeTB. CollegeTB differs itself from online and in-person retailers as long as book exchanges through 3 components. The first being convenience. It's convenient because the student-student transaction that takes place on campus or a local area. Affordability is the next component. Basically, online retailers and book exchanges, they view these as inventory, so they want a margin on top of it when they go to sell it. So that's why the prices are extremely high. Now, as CollegeTB, students post those books thinking they're more of a sunk cost, so they're just trying to recoup some of the costs they actually put into buying it. So that backs into the third component of resale value. When they go to sell those, because they're sunk costs and they're trying to recover just a little bit of that, it inhibits fair resale values.
So how do we plan on reaching out to our customer base? We really wanted to focus on a grassroots strategy, marketing in dormitories, academic buildings, dining halls, wherever we could get the word out about CollegeTB and word of mouth. And we also really wanted to focus on a university ambassador strategy, which is something that's becoming very popular in the cyber business. So we would assign one person or a group of people on each campus, and their goal would be to market CollegeTB. And they would receive a commission for every new user that signs up for CollegeTB from that university. And we wanted to point out that we plan on capturing 30% of the market of that college campus in the first semester, and then allowing it to grow to 50% by the second semester, and that really allows us to adapt our strategy and make sure that we're reaching the customers in the right way. And we wanted to point out that from one social media post here at UNH, we were able to see a 180% increase in traffic to our website. And we also got a ton of great feedback, and we actually had a potential university ambassador reach out to us from that. So here's the most exciting part about CollegeTB. Where do we see the company going? You can see here we've mapped out till 2018. My revenue, we have their fixed cost, our total cost, and our net income. We have a 215% compound annual growth rate in net income over those 3 years at 6 campuses. And that you can see here that the total cost is well underperforming compared to the net income. We're far outpacing total cost. And we plan on doing this with a $10,000 initial investment. And what that $10,000 is going to go to, it would be going towards the R&D, any marketing that we have to incur, as well as keeping a positive cash balance in that initial semester. And we also want to point out we do have a fully functioning beta site as of right now, so we are ready to be up and running as of next semester. And lastly, I want to point out our potential. Where could we see it going beyond 2018? There's 19.5 million college students in the United States. If we could capture only 30% of those college students at our $7.50 rate twice a year for each semester, we would see around $90 million in potential revenue at a very low overhead. So in summary, CollegeTB provides an exchange for college students to buy and sell used textbooks to one another directly on campus. By doing so, we're eliminating the middleman, the high margins with them, and reducing the cost of textbooks. We found through our analysis and research that we have the opportunity to start a business that is not only extremely successful, but also very profitable and has growth potential that is almost unquantifiable. And lastly, we want to just touch upon the fact that our team has the knowledge, the desire, and the passion to get the job done right, and we're well on our way to lowering the cost of higher education one textbook at a time.
Thank you very much. We'd also like to thank Mark at Alpha Loft and you judges for taking the time out today. We would now like to open the floor to any questions.
Hey, something, is it both the buyer and seller that would be paying the subscription?
No, as we had said on this slide back here, it's just the seller. Because we want the buyers to be able to come to the website, see what books are offered,
Okay.
and that's going to really create that demand for the seller's books.
Is there a timing question where if I have books for sale and I'm leaving school in May, I want to get rid of my books. So when do the buyers come and buy these books in this model?
So what we're really doing is we're providing, not necessarily selling the books directly to students, but we're just providing that opportunity, that platform, like Lewis had said, the bulletin board used to be the way to do it in like an academic building. So we're giving the opportunity to put their books on here and have customers come and find the books. So we don't ever own the inventory, we're just providing sort of like an agency.
What we have seen in the past is that on many social media sites around campus, Facebook, there's this new one called Fade, students are already doing this. They post, they lay their books out on their bed, they take a picture and they post who wants it. That commonly happens at the end of the semester, but also more importantly at the beginning of every semester when students have that week time period where teachers are going over the textbooks that is needed, the syllabus type thing. So students are looking then, they'll look on CollegeTB and they'll buy it then. So students could post their books in the summer, right before the semester begins, or in that first week.
Can you walk me through a sale? You're gonna sell something.
Yep.
And you're gonna buy it.
Okay.
And are you gonna hand them cash? Or are you gonna do
Yeah.
PayPal? Just walk me through very
Yeah.
slowly as both sides of the fence here. So I
Okay,
can see
so
how-
I have a textbook, say I'm selling my business law book, and I post it on CollegeTB with my contact information. And Connor can reach out to me through email or my phone number, whatever is listed. And from then on, CollegeTB kind of takes a step back out of the situation, and we talk together, and we meet up and we sell the book cash, however we decide we want to sell the book.
Okay, so you're not handling any of that. So you
Nope.
just,
No.
you entered a credit card and you spent $750 to list that one book.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, it gives you 5 ads.
So there's no commission on sale and the seller sets the price.
Yes, so the seller sets price. So if the seller,
So you're not even familiar with the price, maybe what the listed price was, but not the negotiated price.
Exactly.
And how'd you pick your price?
for the bundle,
Yeah.
we chose $5 because we thought it was originally,
I'm sorry, how'd you pick the price on that particular book?
As a
oh,
seller.
on the particular book.
Yeah.
Well, that's where
You just sold
the
it.
textbook gnome comes in, because that's going to really help them. If a seller goes and they see that the book is $250 on Amazon, they go, I want to sell this quick. I'll put it on here for $150. I guess the idea is that, like Connor had mentioned, it's a sunk cost for a student. So a student,
Yeah.
they don't have to make that profit on selling the book, so they're going to be willing to take less for the book. And we've seen this multiple times. I mean, all the books that are on this website currently are posted by students, and they're significantly less than what Amazon's asking for them.
But that's
So
a
the
lot of
buyer-
your money that your parents have already paid for, it's a sunk cost for the parents.
Yeah, and they never ask for the book.
They don't ask for the book.
Yeah, and that's
Who,
the idea. Is,
okay.
So the negotiated price is, there's a list price and then they make an offer. You don't
Yeah,
pay.
exactly.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
Kelly Blue Book. I'm thinking, how do we
Yeah.
figure out what this value is?
Fair.
How many semesters has this book been used?
Yeah.
What is the real condition? You said it was great, but he just walked up to you and said, wait a minute, we just met, you take all
Yep.
my time.
Yeah.
I walked across campus
It's
and this
not
thing
great.
is 4 semesters old. Now what do we do? Now I'm mad at both of you.
Yeah, and that's where the ISBN comes in. We're going to require that, so it's the exact book that you want,
Okay.
and the teachers provide those ISBNs. And the idea is that, so when we pointed out that we're going to capture 50% of the student population, we're accounting for the other 50% of those kids who have scholarships, parents pay for their books, they don't care. So they're going to buy the new books and replenish what our sellers are going to be selling.
Right, your book that you're listing you might be the third buyer on that one.
Yep.
Okay, and that's a little bit different than when you're selling, exact same book. You
Yeah.
might have bought one from somebody who just used it for the first time.
Right.
So now, yours is more expensive than his, but how do you know how to price yours against his on the same campus?
How much
And
writing
how do you know how to
is inside the book?
search for the one that's in better condition versus next?
We do have a field that
Yeah.
says condition.
Okay, so it's just the condition based upon your opinion.
Yes.
So if the
Right.
buyer comes to the exchange and says, that's not the condition that I signed up for,
Mhm.
they can back out of the sale?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
That's out of our hands
Yeah, we're-
as a
okay.
business.
We're just connecting buyers and sellers of textbooks because we saw the need.
And that seller, you're taking their word for the condition or do you inspect it?
It
Well-
should be expected. We'd
There's
assume.
honesty here. There's
Yeah, no.
honesty,
Yeah.
And that's after our transaction's already been done, so there could be negative feedback from that, but we assume that most kids on campus would be honest. And if you're saving a significant amount of money on your book, we're talking like 50% on a book,
Yeah.
I think you'd be willing to accept a little less quality. And like I said, the book I went to buy from the bookstore was terrible quality for $200. I couldn't even believe it. I was astonished.
If you think about it, why would a seller want to lie about the condition? Because they're
Absolutely.
gonna get to the exchange and then the student's gonna say, well, your pages are really, all highlighted, I'm not interested, I'm sorry. So it's in your best interest to be honest as a seller.
But not to waste time.
Right.
And on the website as of now, the books that are posted up there each have a picture of the actual book that's posted. So you can get a rough idea of where it's at, maybe not what's inside. But like I said, yeah, you can kind of see what it looks like and what condition it is in.
Let's go on to how scalable this is. So
Mhm.
if you can perfect this at UNH, and it sounds like you have a kind of a running start,
Mhm.
you're actually getting into it, you've done some research. I mean, how do you protect yourself to be able to extend it out to all these other colleges and universities? If somebody else sees your idea, why can't they set it up at Arizona State right now?
Well, I mean, that is one of our biggest factors because with something like this, it is like fairly hard to protect. And we'd have to look more into protecting the idea because websites can be obviously twisted slightly. But our idea is there is actually a site that's very similar to this. And what they did is they took it and they blew it up and tried to put it on a national scale, and they just tried to grow too fast. And after extensive searching on this site, we couldn't find a single book that we were looking for at many of the universities that we were looking at. So our idea here would be really to perfect it at these first campuses and then grow it out. So, CollegeTB is the name. People are anticipating CollegeTB coming to their campus, this service, and we'll grow it as fast as we can. So that would be, I guess, one of our biggest challenges.
So I'm gonna go back to the sale,
Mhm.
again, and you're buying his book,
Correct.
but your parents are paying for this. You're gonna take his check from his parents?
Well, the idea would be cash. Cash would be king in this business.
Parents didn't give you cash. Why wouldn't you set this up with PayPal so that you can, as the owners of the website,
Mhm.
make some money off the transaction? If he says, yeah, I wanna buy it, he could buy it through the website. He puts his information there, uses his PayPal account, and then you guys, as college textbooks, sends that guy a check, but you make a profit off the fact he used you guys as the transaction.
A huge discount. There's a
Right.
bit in there for you.
Right, there's something there for you guys to
Yeah.
make, and he wants the convenience of being able to use his parents' credit card or a PayPal account, so you guys have another revenue stream here.
That is a possibility with the current format that we have, that we do have that capability of charging directly on the site, but I guess the idea here was kind of to take ourselves out of the deal itself, and just provide that exchange, but that is definitely something that is possible going forward.
But when you two meet, you both got your phones with you, you can click on I agree
Mhm.
to buy it.
No, definitely.
right? And
Yeah.
You can click
Oh, yes.
accepted, and now it's done, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be something that would go into the budget for R&D and expansion. As of right now, what we're presenting to you guys today is what we actually have, what we actually
Okay.
are working on, and there are ideas for development going forward.
Right.
okay, again, I'm gonna go back to,
Okay.
Yeah.
you're buying a book and you're selling yours, but he brought up the question of the guy, somebody's a senior, and they're leaving campus, they're graduating.
Yep.
And you know what, they need some money to get off campus. So are you gonna start listing your books as a senior in the spring, right during finals, as soon as you're done? And start listing it, and why wouldn't you somehow discount your book lower than what the norm is, Bill, see the norm, and discount it lower and look for people that are looking for the special deals of the desperate senior?
Right.
Because once he
Right.
leaves campus, he's not selling the book to anybody.
And that's the idea here, is that, this is to these students, they maybe want their money fast, that's how we're gonna drive down that price. It's all about economics, it's that demand. So this student, okay, my book's gonna be $50, and then another kid goes, oh, I'm gonna post my book, but I can see this kid has it on here for $50, so I need to price it appropriately if I wanna sell mine as well. So that's gonna play into the fact that we're driving down the price of textbooks.
Don't the buyers want it in late August and the sellers want it in late May? Or is it there a time issue?
I think the majority of our revenue would be coming in the beginning of
That's
each
what you're
semester.
saying, yeah.
Right, for-
Because there would be a
Before
lack
this.
of demand at the end of a semester, kids are
Right.
going into the summer. So if there was a student who was, say, leaving, there might be a struggle there, they might try to put their books
What
up.
do they do with
and-
the books? Yeah.
We actually had that happen on the site already. So we have textbooks that people have posted to sell.
Yeah.
And one of the students said, we know him on a personal level, which is how we got this out to kind of get a feel of it. And he said, well, this is from the senior that just graduated. He just left, but he gave me his books and
Oh,
said,
yes.
you can keep any of the money that you want from it. Give me $20.
So he sold
Got
it.
it. So we
The
sold
future.
20.
So he,
So it's
right,
Secondary market.
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
That's good.
Somebody got interest
Everybody's happy. Somebody got a discount.
When you know-
These
Yeah, I didn't
When
think.
do you know what your courses are? So if you're a junior and you just completed May, your junior year, when do you know what courses you're gonna have?
We picked classes like last week, so I know my course load for next semester already. So I know what books I need to get if I need to accrue them.
And there's that rush, that first month, say September, there's that rush, everybody's lines out the door at the bookstore. And what we really are doing here is that's when we're gonna see the majority of our business, is everybody's gonna be posting their books, it's gonna be frantic, everybody's gonna be buying and selling books on campus, and students are gonna get a much better deal for their books.
Yeah, August may be your biggest month.
Yeah.
So once somebody knows what they wanna get their books before anybody else without waiting in line.
Mhm,
Yeah, correct.
mhm.
Is there, there's a limited supply of used books, right? So you have to go to other campuses, to really
Yeah.
grow this thing.
Yes.
Right.
As you said, scale up, you're gonna have to protect this and move
Yeah.
it swiftly.
And that's why the template we're using is extremely scalable. We made this entire website for under $150. So that's really important to point out. We can scale this business very quickly. I think I made this site in about 4 or 5 hours. It's fully functional.
So then if you wanted to create a portal for students that wanted to get rid of furniture or something coming out here, maybe you could do that too, right?
Yeah, maybe going in the future, expand to different areas. Right now, we want to concentrate on the niche of the books for the moment, because we do see the market is there.
How many books do you think turn every semester here?
Oh, God.
I
I
mean,
can say personally, just buying I've made so many exchanges with my friends, you know, oh, you took this course last semester,
Yeah.
I took this semester, let's switch.
So it's the number of students times 3 or 4. or 5.
Exactly, and
Right.
that's
Right,
it,
like
yes.
that,
Yeah. You know, I live in a fraternity and I'm reaching out to everybody in the fraternity, you take this class, you take this class, and it's, that well, I'm not the only one, everybody on campus is doing this, and it's almost like, well, I checked Craigslist thinking maybe Craigslist would be my source for textbook buying and selling, and it's not, students don't use Craigslist. So this is providing that pride, students are helping each other out in the end of the day, and it's a safer, students feel more comfortable dealing with other students.
So Chip started down a line of comments, maybe they're not questions, and I want to keep going on this because I think it's important if, as you scale, that you scale contiguously. So rather than say, I want to go from here to Arizona State, you say, I want to control all the colleges within New England. And the reason is, there'll be times when textbooks are no longer used here at UNH, but they are going to be used at some other campus nearby. And you want to be able to partner in that, to be able to get your 750 on the turns.
Right.
And so you've got to figure that out because I don't know how often they change the book requirements on some of the courses, but if it's every 3 or 4 years in some other campuses on a different cycle, then you've got to take advantage of that. I think you're going to make more money on that, figuring that part of it out than
Right.
what you think.
That's sort of where the university ambassador will play a big part as well, is because we plan to obviously reward these students for doing a good job reaching out to on their campus, and that's something that they can reach back to us and say, hey, just so you know, textbooks are switching and the website is replenishing, or we're switching towards these books or something like that. So we have that ability, even though we're not sitting at UMass, to know what's going on as far as the textbook market there.
So is there a percentage of market right now that books just find their way places and never get sold? Then there's a percentage of the market where, a couple stores in town here will buy
Yeah.
it
Right.
real low.
And
Really
And
low.
the kids are desperate
Yeah.
and just,
Last year,
it's almost.
I actually have sorry to cut you off. I went to sell this book I'd used, and they were switching the section. So the book was no longer be used here at the university, some other university, like you said. And they were going to give me, I purchased it for $253. I remember that figure because it was a lot to me.
That's a lot anyway.
So I brought it there, and they were going to give me $20 for it
Oh,
at the end of the semester.
And
So
that's-
you can see $230.
That's how they operate their business, and the person who actually supplied to us the textbook gnome feature, he actually runs a book business here. He sits in a van, purchases the books, and then he resells them to Chegg, which pays him a slight premium. I think he makes about 10% on his book sales to Chegg. So it gives you an idea of how low these students will accept for their books.
Yeah.
They'll take
This
like
is-
rock bottom
This
prices.
concept here that we're kind of exploring is, I think it's another service that you can provide and actually monetize. So it's not just on the 750. When you take textbooks that are no longer used here, and you ship them off to some other place, or you
Exactly.
make that exchange,
Yeah.
you should be able to make a commission on that.
Right.
And you've
Yeah,
got
that'd be
your
a high
ambassadors and
margin.
everything else, but I think it's another service you can provide.
Right.
And like Kim was starting on, when you go beyond textbooks, and you start looking at other things that are transacted every semester, you might have something that you could build on in some of the places.
The growth is exponential, and we plan on developing it so much from here on out.
Is there another revenue stream?
Yeah, so as we talked about, the referral fees coming from online retailers. So that student actually who has the textbook loan makes like a fair amount of money for the amount of traffic he gets to his textbook loan just off referral fees. So Chegg pays him, I think he said it was an 8% commission or something like that. So if a student were to go on this website, this could be the site students go to buy their textbooks regardless. First, they check to see if it's used on campus. If it's not used and it's not on CollegeTB, they're using CollegeTB to find it with our textbook loan feature on online retailers, and then we're getting that referral
Right.
directly to us.
Who do students buy the textbooks from now? Is it from the university or is it from both?
Yeah.
Teacher?
Well, personally, I go to the book exchange down here.
Okay.
That time.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.